Hello and welcome back. We are continuing our Python and Django series of sessions, and we last time we discussed the roadmap. We added a roadmap and a time frame. We have the ability to list and edit roadmaps, so we're going to start working on the time frame. Now, one thing that we're going to adjust here, we've got a couple things we're going to do is a time frame is actually going to be tied to a roadmap. It's not going to tie a task necessarily to. It's not going to be a direct link there because we'll have a single time frame, for example, annual, that would have multiple tasks related to it. And this is a little bit to just help us in how we're going to do this from a user experience point of view. And that being that we're going to come in and we're going to create a roadmap as a user. You'll create a roadmap. You can pull in time frames. You'll create a time frame. And then you're going to assign tasks to the time frame. So here we're going to take, and actually what we're going to do to make it really simple is we're now going to say that every task is going to need a time frame. And so we will come in and do, let's see, we're just going to call him because we don't have anything here. So we're going to call, let's just pick like here, copy this because now a task will have a time frame and it's going to have a foreign key to time frame. And the verbose name is going to be time frame. Oops, I'm going to do it this way. So now we're going to be able to do that. And I do want to do, as we've seen before, here we go. So you can have a null and a blank, and we're going to allow that. Technically, we're probably not going to have that, but I guess we could. We could have tasks that are not tied to time frames. So what we'll do is we'll come in, we'll create roadmaps, we'll create a time frame, and then we'll be able to, once that's done, we'll be able to tie tasks to a time frame. And so we're going to see lookups and things like that through all of these. So we've changed our model. One of the things we're going to have to do, and let's start with our forms. So roadmap form, we're good, but task form is now going to have the time frame, whoops, which again, I need to do it like that. And we need to create, for our model over here, we need to create a form for our time frame. So we don't have one, so let's do, I'll keep this so I can keep up with what I need to deal with for my time frame. And I'm just going to replicate this rather quickly. And this is not the roadmap form. This is going to be my time frame form. And the model is going to be models.time. Is it going to kick it up? Nope, it's not going to give me the autocomplete. So it's going to be models.timeframe, and the fields are going to be a little different here because we still have a name, but we also have a roadmap and a time frame. Which is the time frame in itself. Let's change that to period instead. And he's going to be time frame. Actually, we'll just go ahead and change the whole thing. So that's going to be period choices. Oops, I'm going to have to change that over another one. My mistake. So we're going to call him period instead of time frame. And we're going to start with something moderately simple here. Let's say we don't have a hidden input. And we're not using dates or anything like that, but we will keep the name. We're going to have that so that's standard size. So now let's, so that should be our time frame form. Now let's go back over here and we're going to change that period. So we're going to actually do a little bit of tweaking here, but we're going to see this when we update, when we do our migrations. we're going to see this stuff get cleaned up for us. So we're going to rename this to period. And let's see, task is done there. So we got our task form updated. So let's see. So roadmap, task. We've got roadmap here. So we have those. We have, let's group these a little bit. So we're going to group our task-related stuff, group our roadmap-related stuff. And now we're basically going to have those same things. I'll keep it somewhat similar. And this is going to be for a time frame. But we're just going to use TF as the abbreviation for the URL, just to keep it a little bit simpler. And we're going to be able to create a time frame, list time frames, and edit time frame. So we've got those three: create, list, and edit. And we're going to come over to views, wherever that went. There we go. And let's see. So if we can maybe steal these, create, list, and we'll push this to the bottom, and we also need create tasks. So where is create? There it is. And we're not going to bother with our delete yet. So each of these was time frame. And let's just copy and paste that name so we can get that done right. So we're going to take him there. We're going to edit it. We're going to list it. And we're going to create it. And I think I had an S at the end of this. If I look back over here, where did I put that on my URLs? I had list time frames. Okay, so that's good. So that's multiple. And now, again, we're going to fairly quickly be able to fly through these things and make our changes. So that was actually, it's the time frame object. Let's make sure. Yep, I already got that upstairs, up at the top of the page. So let's jump back to the bottom. And let's see, I don't really need to worry about an owner because they don't exist in this case. This is no longer the time frame form, task form, it's the time frame form. We'll keep that the same. Let's see, we don't really have to worry about delete. We'll leave it in there, even though we're not actually going to, well, I guess we can. We could take it through here. So let's see, so we're gonna do that. That's our ID, record deleted. He's gonna go instead to TFS. Again, this is a time frame form. Whoops. And we're going to use this instance data, form save, redirect to TFS. Yeah, invalid record, good, edit, time frame, form, title, message, and it's going to go to time frame edit because we're going to, and we'll have to make that. So task edit, we're just going to duplicate that, and we're going to call him or her if you want to be picky about it, time frame edit. And we're also going to need task list is going to become time frame list. So we had our two tasks, we have our time frame. So we're getting ourselves somewhat going here, and they'll look somewhat similar because we are, this makes it a little easier because we're sort of staying the same as far as some of our parameters that are going in. Here, let's see, so when we do like list, we have titles and tasks. We could keep that, but we'll clean that up a little bit just for user's sake. But if we wanted, we could call this items or something like that. And then, or I'm sorry, this part, the variable would be items. We're just going to pass different items in, and we could probably use actually the same form for the most part, especially for the listing, and especially because everybody's got a name. There's some ways we can do this that we could make it really easy to limit our code and not have to reproduce stuff almost at all. So this could be all time frames because we are getting all of them. we're just going to call this TFS time frames, and this is going to be TFS time frames because I don't feel like typing as much. And let's just call this frame. No, because frame, it won't like that. So we're going to call this, we'll just keep it time frames. And this is going to go to time frame list. Create a time frame. We're going to clean this up here. It's going to be a time frame form. We're going to create a new record, create a time frame. Time frame form. Come in, let's see, invalid record, blah, 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 time frame edit. And so we have cranked those out real quick. And so let's go look at our time frame edit. Let's see, it's actually in pretty good shape. There's nothing we have to do specific there. So it actually could be, we could actually send it to task edit. So we could do like generic edit, send it there, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's see. And then, so, time frame list. So now this one's where we're going to deal with this a little bit because, so complete task doesn't really matter for a task. And yeah, we'll just get rid of that for now. And it wasn't tasks, it's time frames. And for, we'll just call it TF. So time frame in time frames. And then there's going to be a class. Let's call it time frame. This is going to be a CSS style. So we had a task. Let's fix that real quick. So we had tasks. And this is going to be, oh, sorry. Control C, Control V, and then we're just going to call it time frame. For now, we're going to leave it the same as a task, but we're going to come back and make some changes to it at some point. So let's go back to our time frame edit. Did we? Oh, shoot. That was the wrong page. It's probably not going to like me. Let's see if I can get back over here. Let's see. Three, two, one. So let's make sure we save this. We don't need to do our edit. We can go to our list and let's go back here. So we have a time frame. It's going to be, instead, we're going to give it an ID of TF underscore. It's going to be TFID. The name is going to be the time frame name. We don't need to have a due date. Actually, most of this stuff I don't think we're going to have. Let's get rid of our break there. We don't need a status. We don't need a time. We do want an edit. And we don't need a complete. And so it's going to go to time frame. And it's going to be time frame ID. No time frames available. And so that's going to give us our listing. Let's see. I think we'll do a file save all. So let's go play around and see if we can do our, whoops, let's see. Well, that's right, that won't work. So I want to do make migrations because we made some changes to the model. Time frame is not defined, so I missed something somewhere in models line 21. Okay. Oh, this may be a issue that we have. So line 21 time frame has not been created yet. So because this is going to go top to bottom. I don't know if we've mentioned this before. You can't add something that refers to something that's defined later in the file. So this time frame that we refer to has to already be created. So if we do that, let's see if that works for us. Time frame choice. Oops, I didn't change when I changed it, I didn't get everything's changed properly. Period choice. Oh, this needs to be period choices. And I think that will do it. So now we make migrations. Let's see, unknown field time frame specified for task. So let's take a look at that. Time frame, got it. Let's see, what am I complaining about here? It's probably somewhere else. So if I go to, forms, line 28. So there's something wrong there. So let's go to our forms, 28. There's a task form. Oh, I bet. Task form is time frame. Let's see, what did it complain about? Let's look again. It said that, let's see, unknown field time frame specified for task. So if we go look at task, in our models, where's our models? There's our models. Time frame, lowercase. That's the verbose name. So the actual one is lowercase, is how we're going to access it. Where did I go to my forms? So here, that's not capital T, that's lowercase t, time frame. Hopefully that got all the things right. Let's see. So did you rename that to period? Yes, because we did rename it. And so now we can do migrate. And so now we should be able to run it. And if we go to our link over here and log in, then we can see things like, let's see, I think roadmap we had. So we could go in and we can edit a roadmap. Now, what we don't have is a time frame. So we're just going to call it TFS to get us that time frame list. And so it's going to say cannot resolve due date. Oh, I've got something left over here. Oh, there we go. I've got an order by, so I've got to go fix that. And so if I go to view, I had an order by in list, so it's order by name. And that probably will fix it. And there we go, no time frames available. So we covered a lot of ground. I'm going to call it a session right now, and we will come back around next time, and we're going to get a little deeper into hooking our tasks and time frames and roadmaps together. So as always, thanks for listening. We do have, you will see this tag day 30 on our GitHub as far as the code that that we've looked at today. And then as always, go out there and have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you next time.